everybody, I'm going to be talking to you today about our induction setup for everything from your MK8 Golf GTI, Golf R, your Audi S3 TTS, Cupra Formentor, Ateca, Leon, Seat Leon, Skoda Octavia, Skoda Superb, and pretty much any other vehicle that's rocking the EA888 engine platform. Let's get started with the OEM kind of intake. That's always a good place to start. You can see on the OEM ducting, half of it is blocked off. So the front half of your slam panel, that half, you can throw it away. It's not doing anything, it's pointless. And then on this side, where it is open, usually on the back on some applications, there's a flap that opens and closes. So when you're driving, the flap's supposed to be closed, but you can still get some air leak through the back. So that's no good because air is just going to pass straight through it, not get directed to your intake. But also then what happens is once you've been driving for a while, when your car's sat still but still running, the flap opens at the back, which means you're then drawing in hot air from the engine, which nobody wants for their car. But if I swap this out, you can see on our intake, we take full advantage of the whole front slam panel. You've got air coming in from the side that's blocked off on the OEM one, and there is no flap at the back. You ain't missing any air through there. And that's going to come in, or the air when you're driving along, or the cold air is going to come in, it's going to flow up nice through here, nice and smooth, directing the cold air straight into the filter. The temperature and volume of air that is compressed by your turbo has a better effect on performance when the air is cooler. It provides the engine with more oxygen, which is dense air, which in turn improves combustion. So with just our induction kit on our Golf R, we saw average horsepower increases of 5.5 brake. That's thanks to everything I just spoke about with the improved airflow, the cold air, taking advantage of the slam panel. But those performance gains and increases can be bettered when coupled with our turbo inlet adapters. Now we offer 3 different types, but they all pretty much do the same job, and I'm going to talk about them now. So this one is FMTIA5. It comes in a variety of different colors, the hose that is, red, blue, black, green or gray. So it's perfect for all your different colored vehicle applications. FMTIA5 actually is a massive hose. The turbo adapter is specifically for the right-hand drive Golf R. So it's right-hand drive only. We're going to talk about the left-hand drive variant in a moment. But it's a huge increase over the OEM turbo adapter. If I actually pop the adapter out of the hose and grab the OEM one, you can see that the OEM adapter actually fits inside of ours. So the OEM adapter, I believe, goes from 74 mil, it might be 78, but ours goes up to 89. So that's a huge increase. I think your surface area volume, or the increase in volume, is over 60%. So that airflow that we were talking about and that cold air that's coming in from the intake and then into your turbo inlet adapter, it just keeps the air flowing nicely. What is also better for is our hose has, well, is on all of them a nice multiply silicone hose, and it's smooth on the inside, so that air again is just flowing nicely. It's going around the bends nice and easy. And I'll show you on the original one, it actually, if I put this down, the original hose has this kind of weird flexi part on it, which you can see all of these divots and these lines. That creates loads of air turbulence, which disturbs the flow. So if you imagine every time it hits one of those walls, it's going to bounce off in the wrong direction. Whereas our nice smooth hose, there's no bouncing. That's just flowing smooth, flowing nicely. One thing I forgot to say, so we've come back to say it. This turbo inlet adapter alone on our Golf R, at standard, without the intake, just on its own, we saw increases of up to 10 horsepower, which is pretty phenomenal. Now, if I hand that off, on the left-hand drive variant, so it's the same principle. Replaces your, goes straight onto where your turbo inlet adapter is. One thing that you have to do on all of these adapters is remove the OE seal and put it in place of this onto ours. We don't supply a replacement seal because your OEM one's perfect to just use again. What we've had to do is change it to this cast elbow because the master cylinder servo is in the way on the left-hand drive vehicles, so it just means we had to change the angle slightly, which is why the cast elbow is slightly longer than the straight coupler onto a hose. But again, it comes straight up from that 74mm up to your 89mm on the other end. Same thing, increases the airflow, improves the airflow, sorry, and improves performance as well, because again, on the left-hand drive vehicles, we saw averages of around 8 horsepower increases with this bad boy. So it's great for your left-hand drive ops variant, again, for your MK8 Golf R. The different one, now, that one, sorry, I'll grab it back. This one is FMTIA9, if you want to search for that on our websites. For the MK8 Golf GTI, now this one fits both left-hand drive and right-hand drive. This is FMTIA6. Same principle, again. The only difference is, so you use your OEM seal, but the way this fits, you don't bolt it in. We took inspiration from the same design that we did for our Mark 7, and we have sold thousands of those inlet hoses around the world. And we just took the same design, and all it is it's kind of a floating locking mechanism, so it just goes in place. But if you have your OEM seal on there and you have the hose fitted, I can assure you that is not going anywhere. That seal is perfect and you're not missing out on anything, and it's going to stay securely in place. Again, removes the OEM flexi pipe, which creates all that air turbulence, and we have a nice smooth silicone hose which comes straight off of the turbo inlet adapter onto there, onto your intake system. So FMTIA6, as I said, left-hand drive and right-hand drive, but for your Golf GTI only. Now, unfortunately, because of the space around the engine, this one is slightly smaller, but still a significant increase. We're going from 66mm up to 79. And what you have with all of these turbo inlet adapters is, if I just grab one more, you can see there is so much more space and air kept in the hose and around it. So during long deceleration or between gear changes, you've just got loads of air there waiting, cold air, to be sucked into your turbo and help with your quick acceleration. With these turbo inlet adapters, all three of them fitted alongside our FMINDK40, we've seen increases of anywhere between 13 to 16 brake horsepower, which is just phenomenal. Not to mention the cooler average IATs, intake air temperatures, because again, as I said, that front slam panel, loads of cold air blowing in. You got cold air staying in these hoses. Ooh. You got cold air staying in these hoses, and those inlet air temperatures are just going to go down, keep that cold air flowing into your intake, and improve the performance of your engine. So one of the last points on our INDK40, or this whole induction kit setup, is the air filter. It can come, or you can buy it, with either a pleated or a foam filter. It's up to your personal preference, but we offer both because why not have the option? Now, if we come on around here and we'll look at the front of the engine, or look at the engine bay, you can see we've got our setup here. It also has our lovely engine cover, which you may not notice is we matched the carbon fiber weave to be directionally the same on it, so that that aesthetic appearance is going to be top notch. There's going to be nothing like it else there, nothing else like it out there on the market, especially with that match, the carbon and carbon, the two products just the two products just complement each other, especially when Volkswagen had to recall their OEM engine covers. But just to summarize, I'll put this filter down here. You've got our INDK40 taking full advantage of the front slam panel, getting all of the cold air in there. nice smooth direction to around the intake housing, where you can have either your pleated or your foam filter, into our turbo inlet adapter, which we have FMTIA 5 fitted because we are a right-hand drive vehicle. And again, we've gone for the blue because blue is the Forge color, but we offer that in red, blue, black. On some of the applications we also offer green and grey. So you can match this setup to your personal preference. And as always, with all Forge parts, this is covered, or these parts are covered, by our limited lifetime warranty. Now, it's pretty much hassle-free, or as hassle-free as you can get. We pride ourselves on our customer service. So if you have any questions, any queries, any issues, need anything talking through or changing, just give us a call, drop us a message. We'll be happy to help. Limited lifetime warranty. What more can you say? No one else backs their products like that. Thank you very much, and hopefully I gave you a good bit of information on your ideal Mark 8 or EA888 induction setup. Thanks. Have a good one.